So after that super cheesy intro, let's get started. I am going to start by priming my eyes with this white base from NYX to make sure our colors are super duper vibrant. And for the crease, I'm going to take Bedrock, which is a matte gray shadow from Makeup Geek. As I say in all of my videos, you do not have to use the exact products I use. You can just pick whatever works best for you. This part I'm going to pretty much speed through just because it is just a standard kind of makeup look and tutorial like I would do. You can really do any kind of makeup with this look, but if you want my exact look, then you can just watch this part. So I'm just blending this out with an angled fluffy brush, making sure we have a very dark crease. I want a very Barbie-esque kind of look. So for the lid, I'm using a dusty mauve color from the Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. Unfortunately, this was special edition, but I've noticed they've been bringing like all the Mega Pro palettes back slowly but surely, so you might be able to get your hands on it again. And you can use Kohl's Cash on it if that is something you stock up on or, have at your disposal. So I'm just packing this all over the lid, and then I'm blending it out with a clean blending brush. This one is from Sephora. And on my brow bone, I am using Shimmer Shimmer from Makeup Geek on the top because I wanted a really high arch. I did fill in my brows off camera, but you can just do those however you normally do them or make them super arched. Now for my face, I'm going to use the MAC Skin Base, and I'm putting this all over the places that I have really big pores because I want a super smooth base. So essentially I'm putting this all over my face, top to bottom, forehead to chin, on my neck, all over the place. You just want everything to be super duper smooth. Now for my foundation, I'm using the Matte Fit Me Poreless. You can use the Tarte 12 Hour one, like the Amazonian Clay Foundation. That's another good one that holds these special effects products really well. But I'm just going to blend this out with a beauty blender like I would any other day. So now in all of the places that I have big pores, I'm taking the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder Foundation and packing this into those areas. This is just going to keep everything set, give us a little more coverage in the areas we need it, but this also fills in your pores so nicely. Like, I have never had a powder fill in my pores like this, especially a drugstore powder. Now underneath my eyes, I am going to conceal with the Physicians Formula Concealer and a Beauty Blender. I'm just blending this all out very carefully, making sure we don't mess up any of our other makeup here. Now to set that concealer, I'm just going to pack on some of the e.l.f. translucent powder with a flat brush just to make sure nothing creases or comes off. So I did do my wings off camera, but you guys can probably figure out how to do that. And now I'm just smudging a little bit of black liner in my waterline. I also did my mascara off camera. So now we are going to contour, and I am contouring my face to Jesus today because I want a super cut look. So obviously you guys will see a before and after, but people at the party are not going to see you before you have all of your little plastic surgery done. So I wanted to make my face look super chiseled and super lifted, like I had had a facelift and lip injections and my nose contoured and my forehead. So if it looks really heavy at first, just wait until I get everything on and it'll look super good, I assure you. So I am making my nose look a little bit more pointy and lifted. You can do this basically however drag queens contour. That's basically how I learned to contour and kind of made it into a more feminine version. So yeah, I am really laying it on thick on my forehead because I do have a little bit of a larger forehead, but I just want to bring it down a little bit and make it look like it has been lifted and pulled and tucked and stapled and cut open and all of that fun stuff. So I am just blending this all out with a blending brush from e.l.f. and this is my NYX matte bronzer in medium. So now I'm going to highlight with the Mary Luminizer, and again we are highlighting to the gods because we want to look very lifted and very awake and very LA. So I am putting highlighter all over my face. Cupid's bow, nose, cheeks, chin, and of course my forehead. And this also helps blend out some of that crazy contour we have going on. So now I'm going to take a little bit of blush. This is just a light pink. I think it's called Soulmate from Makeup Geek, and I'm just packing this on my cheeks so I look very sun-kissed, and again working it back so that our face looks lifted. Now for my lips, I'm using Rave from MAC, and it's kind of a pinky nude color. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. And then for a gloss, I'm using WeHo from ColourPop, and this is just a nude gloss. This is one of their ultra glossy little sample ones. Like, I got this right before they launched the full line, so they still have it on the site, I'm pretty sure, but any nude or clear gloss will do. So now, to get a little bit gory, I'm going to start making my little plastic surgery marks on my face with a black eyeliner. Please do not use an actual Sharpie on your face. That is so bad for your skin. But basically, I'm putting any arrows on areas that I want to look lifted, and little kind of check marks wherever they would be kind of cut. Not check marks, dashes. Little dashes where anything would be cut and moved around. This is all up to you how many marks you want to put. I wanted mine to be pretty dramatic, like I put little places where lip filler would go and stuff like that, but it is really up to you how much you want to do with this part. So now, taking some scar wax from Ben Nye, I'm just going to scoop it out with a palette knife and warm it up a little bit in my fingers so that it gets nice and sticky, and I'm going to measure it out underneath my eye because this is where I'm going to put a big gash. Now with some liquid latex, this is just from Spirit Halloween. It's really cheap, and yes, it smells freaking awful. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this to my face and to the back of the scar wax. And I'm going to stick the two together, creating a little scar sandwich on my under eye. And I blend it out with my fingers and the palette knife, just trying to keep it down and look skin-like. So I'm going to put a little bit more of that scar wax on my forehead. You can also use just the liquid latex and tissue method, but I have scar wax, so I'm going to use that. And this one I'm making really thin and kind of putting it over top of the mark so that when I put the blood on it, it'll look like the marks are showing through and kind of creating a fun little cut. And I just cut all of my scar wax with the palette knife very carefully on my face. It's not too sharp, but you still want to be careful. So now I'm going to start my first layer of blood. I really like layering up blood and creating texture, so I am just smearing this on with my palette knife. This is the Ben Nye Stage Blood in Zesty Mint flavor, if that is fun to anybody. And I am dotting blood kind of in places that I want to look like it's splattered and smeared. Now it is time to bring the full body into this. Yes, I'm making it look like I was supposed to get a boob job. Not that I need one, but I am just putting a little bit of latex on the very top. And just so you know, this stuff is really easy to get off. Just some warm soap and water, and it just kind of comes off your skin. So I'm just smearing a little bit of this on top to make the little cuts that I will show you guys here. But I want to layer it on first so that it can dry. So now I'm going back to that first piece of scar wax that is nice and dry on our face. I'm just taking the palette knife through it and creating little rips and pulling off little pieces so that we can have some texture. And no, it does not hurt to pull on this stuff. It doesn't really stick or pull on the skin. So I'm just pulling it down, being very careful not to smack myself in the eye. And you can see that it kind of rolls up and creates a like flap of skin, which is what I want. I want this to be really gross. So going back in with the stage blood, I am taking quite a bit of it and I'm going to fill in that little pocket. Just so that it looks like it is just pulling skin right off our face and all the blood is coming up to the top. I want everything to be really filled and kind of dark, which you just do by layering up your blood. So I'm going to smear this all around. Now that that is done, I'm going to start cutting the latex on my tatas here. And I'm cutting it just with the palette knife, as you guys can see. Really, like a bobby pin could work too if you don't have a palette knife, just something with a little bit of an edge that can pull it up. So just like we did on the face, I'm going to take some blood and kind of smear it around. I'm not doing it any precise manner. You don't want this to look too neat and clean, but do make sure you don't get it on your clothes because I'm pretty sure this stuff can stain. And for anyone wondering, this blood is mouth safe, so you can put it in your mouth if you need it for your costume. So I'm just going to add a little bit more blood, but this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, make sure that you subscribe down below and check out my other Halloween tutorials that will be listed on the screen. I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure you check that description box. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye!